Monino from Milton Township. I'm Milton Township trustee, and I'm also with the DuPage County Township officials. And I'm here today with my very good friend, Judge James McCluskey, and we're looking to ask you a few questions, Judge, regarding the court system and this pandemic and everything that's going on right now. So, if you don't mind,
Sure.
may I ask first? Let me ask you how long you've been on as a judge here in DuPage, and have you served in DuPage?
Thank you, John. I've been a judge for 2 years. Prior to that, I was a lawyer for 38 years. So I've been licensed to practice law for almost 41 years now.
Okay.
So I currently serve in eviction court. I handle all the evictions in DuPage County.
Okay, well, I understand that right now there's a moratorium for the eviction process. Is that right?
That's correct. We're going to open up the courts on May 18th, but that won't be the eviction court. The eviction court will open the second week of June.
Okay.
In any buildings that are federally funded, the evictions will not proceed until after July 25th. If they're not federally funded, the eviction court and cases will apply to those people the second week of June. That's when it starts.
Okay. There's a lot of responsibility right now with this different, nobody really knows what's going on with this pandemic.
Right.
What are the qualifications of voting for a good judicial candidate?
Okay. Some of the qualifications, I would look to the DuPage County Bar Association and the Illinois State Bar Association. They look at candidates based upon their knowledge of the law, their competency, their temperament, which is very important, their sensitivity, and their sense of fairness. In other words, they're unbiased. They don't care who's in front of them. Lady Justice is blind, and that's what they look for as a good judicial candidate. And the Bar Association, the Illinois State Bar Association, through the polling process, and the DuPage County Bar Association, through their evaluation process, rates the judges and rates the judicial candidates.
Oh, that's great. Let me ask you, what do you believe is the most important role as a judiciary in DuPage County with respect to their relationship with the legislative branch, the executive branch of the county, state, and federal?
Okay. Well, the way the Constitution is set up in 1787, and also the Illinois State Constitution mirrors the U.S. Constitution. The executive branch will execute on the laws. The legislature makes the laws. Those are lawmakers. And the judiciary interprets the laws and finds a decision based upon the facts and the law that is presented to them. So the judiciary is neutral, nonpartisan, and makes a decision with a fair and open mind based upon the law and the facts.
That's great. That's great. Well, tell me a little bit about courthouse. What type of cases are being heard? What are the effects of the lives of people in DuPage County?
Okay. You have everything at the courthouse that you would have in any other courthouse. But since you have about 1 million people in this county, you're serving a large amount of people. And in the courthouse over at County Farm Road, 505 North County Farm Road, we have the clerk at circ's office. You have the traffic courts.
Yes.
Then above that, you have the civil courts, personal injury, contract litigation, and the courts of equity, where I serve in Chancery, which is eviction court, probate court, guardianship court, and general chancery courts. Above that is the family law courts. That contains the third floor. The fourth floor is the felony and misdemeanor. That is the entire composite of the court system in DuPage County.
Well, in your opinion, let me ask about smaller government. Why does township work?
Okay. I, from personal experience, know that township government works. Okay. I lived in an unincorporated area for a number of years, and I saw what township government can do to the people in an unincorporated area. Their road service is excellent, number one. Number two, they have general assistance for people, especially I'm in eviction court, and they provide general assistance for people who can't afford to live and can't afford their rent. Township government pitches in. And number three, You have assessors, and assessors in every district are very familiar with the parcels that they are assessing. So there's a more closer relationship between the taxpayers and the government officials in the local township government.
We're in Chris Levan's office
Right.
in his conference room right now, the assessor of Milton Township. And as far as the unincorporated areas, I personally live in the unincorporated Wheaton, and serviced by our very own highway commissioner, Gary Muehlfeld, who does a phenomenal job and gets really big ratings as far as community service. So we're real happy with that.
Well, I agree with that. I think the road service is excellent, and you get premier service when you deal with township government.
Absolutely. As the judge of DuPage County Courts, what do you personally like about township government? Kind of redundant, but
Yeah.
in your opinion.
Well, I'll give you an example. I think this general assistance is most important, especially with what we're going through now with COVID-19.
Absolutely.
These, in a landlord-tenant relationship, the tenants are in dire need when they're in front of me for assistance, financial assistance.
Yes.
That's where township government comes into play. The other non-for-profit organizations work well, but with the assistance of township government, that helps that court system, especially that eviction court, because we have 4,000 evictions a year in DuPage County. So general assistance is more than ever. That township government, what they provide is more than ever a crucial part of the court system, but certainly within eviction court.
I saw you the other day at a food drive just right here in Wheaton, and you were bringing some food and everything else with your wife Janice. That was
Right.
great, and it was great to interact with you even there, and how I saw your heart that you really enjoy helping the public. So
Yeah.
it was great.
Well, I think this is what this is bringing out in people. It's bringing out the compassion
Yes.
that people have, but they're showing it. They're not only talking the talk, they're walking the walk, and I'm a big believer of that.
I agree. The Milton Township SALT, the seniors and law enforcement together, the Community Emergency Response Team right here, it's the CERT program. They help expand community engagement through the township. Have you heard or have you been involved in any of those two programs?
I'm aware of them, and I'm aware of them through the sheriff's office
Yes.
and the state's attorney's office. Sheriff's office is James Mendrick, of course, and the state's attorney who's doing an excellent job, Bob Berlin. So I'm very, very in tune with those two programs. Now than ever, the township government, working in partnership with the sheriff's office and with the state's attorney's office, can be first-line responders at any time to help seniors and emergency services. Because let's face it, our funds are going to be stretched out, our services are going to be stretched out,
Right.
and anything, I think what the township is doing is really lending a hand, doing a great job in helping those agencies.
Well said. Thank you for sharing that. What are your favorite services that you've seen provided by any of the 9 townships here in DuPage?
Okay, let me give you some personal experience that I
Please.
had.
Yeah.
Probably about 5 or 6 years ago, my daughter had a wedding. She was married, and my mother-in-law was incapacitated. She was in a wheelchair. She was in Naperville Township, and the wedding was in Batavia. In order to transport somebody like that in a wheelchair, if we went to a commercial vendor, would have cost over $400 to $500.
Sure.
The township, Naperville Township, provided that for $25. They transported her there. She was able to enjoy the wedding of her granddaughter, and she was transported back to Naperville in the home that she was living in. And that was because of township government. They provided that service. I think that's a big service that they provide to seniors and disabled people. I can't say enough about it.
That's wonderful. Well, that's really, ultimately, I think the youth services that Township does, the senior newsletters that go out of most of our townships, that's educating the public on what is available and what is needed to provide. Because some people like us, when we saw each other at the food drive, we were able to, through different word of mouth and people talking. I'm sure your wife Janice kind of made you get up early and go grocery shopping and bring some needed things, and maybe there were lists of things.
Right.
That's in all of our different programs throughout the townships, that there's certain needs, and we're hoping that people are responding to this interview alone,
Right.
to help, because right now this is where we're at. We really all need to help.
That you've just raised an important point. The word networking. Township government actually networks the entire county because it covers the entire county. But it's the grassroots campaign of township government.
Yes.
What you mentioned with the food drive and things of that nature, township government steps up where other entities or other public entities cannot step up. They're on the ground floor working with the people. And that is because they network together, they work together, and they provide a great service for the people of DuPage County.
Oh, this has been a wonderful time with you, Judge. I'm hoping that you have other times available that we can get together and do this again. And we are going to also ask some of the public for some questions, if you don't mind that. We're going to get together and answer some more. The last question that I'd love to raise to you is, what do you see for the future with this COVID-19 thing, and being and having to deal with your court system?
Okay. I think it's going to be a phasing in program. Certainly in the eviction court, we don't want people to congregate in one small courtroom.
Yes.
We'll have a phase program. We'll put them in other areas and bring them in smaller groups, hear their cases, give full, fair hearing to everybody, because that's what the goal is for the judiciary and to the people of DuPage County. The other cases have been put on hold, the jury trials. Those will open up in late July, and for the criminal, and the civil will open up in late August. But this will be a phasing program, and it's very challenging. Very challenging to the parties, very challenging to the lawyers, and to the judiciary. But with the on-site of Zoom, the court system is working, is starting to get up and running, and working with the lawyers and moving the process along, because we want to get this economy going. So that's the big issue in the judiciary, and county government is here to help.
Couldn't have said it better. Great job, Judge. So thankful that you were here today, and I know our viewers are going to be really thrilled to listen in. Again, we were here with our very own DuPage County Judge, James McCluskey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.